It right here. Oh, where am I at? Let's see. Okay, now I need to bring up. Get out of that. Okay, studio. Okay, what's the day? The day's Thursday. This day's Thursday. And now let's see. I'm gonna okay. That's that.
Innervision,
that's
taking
that.
you to a new level of Christian radio. www.innervisionrecords.org, the official website of Innervision.
Send us feedback, requests.
Help spread the word about local musicians. We are Inner FM.
My name is Brother D'Angelo Travis, and you listen to Innervision FM.
Right.
Oh my God.
Is it running now? Yeah. Hi, everybody. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown. I tell you, this business is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown saying stay with it and hit it.
Well, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me. I think my mic is now open. Can you hear me?
You now have an open mic.
Ah, yes. I never know what I'm doing. I say close the mic until I get everything totally open. So, so we're now live and in person. A little bit early. Oh, and I'm going to be sad when Periscope goes because I can monitor what we're doing through there. So I got to find an alternative way of monitoring to prove that we're live.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to InnervisionFM.com.
Oh yeah, yeah.
See, and this here is Johnny J.
Yes, and let me turn on my light. Alan, you forgot to tell me. Turn on your light, Johnny.
Turn on your light? No, I don't even go video because I got a face made for radio, man. I'm so ugly that I had to hang a pork chop around my neck so the dog could play with me.
No way. Well, last night it was an interesting thing. I listened to this guy's past interviews. His name is Eric. all right, which one is the one with the A? It's Aaron or either Aaron Richmond, Aaron Richmond, and I I listened to some of his past shows, and he interviews like people that are visually impaired that are different careers, they have different paths in lives. He did this model that was visually impaired, and she's talked about like the little rejection that she went through trying to get in there because people, when they heard that she had a disability, they didn't want to work with her, they didn't think that she could do it, and all that kind of stuff. And so I was looking at the length of his interviews. So it's like 40 minutes, 56 minutes, 36 minutes. So we ended up talking for an hour and 21 minutes.
Holy smoke.
Oh man. Because I kept telling him all these stories, like excerpts from the book and stuff like that. And then I wonder if it was some other nuances that I don't know if I remembered, if I put in a book or not. So yeah, so we were laughing. And the biggest funny thing he found was when I told him that the cameraman, because we were using camcorders, some camcorders at the time, the camera guy forgot to take out the time and temperature. And so when I went back to edit it, and someone said, "Hey, why is the time and temperature there?" I had to block it with superimpose it with Innervision. And
those little bars where you'd have the name and stuff.
Yeah, well, at that time, you just had the time and the date because people wanted to have that, like they couldn't remember when they filmed it. But you could either turn it off or turn it on, and he didn't turn it off. And I don't know if he didn't know how to turn it on or turn it off or what. But so every time the footage that he filmed came up, I had to put up this Innervision production to cut out the time and date.
Oh, I see.
So I don't know. No, it was interesting. It was interesting using different cameramen back at that time. But he did give me a good connection, and who knows? I don't. We may be going to, not maybe per se Hollywood, but we may be in the movies here pretty soon.
Well, and that's a fine thing, Johnny. I've been wanting to make a movie since I met you. As a matter of fact, I remember telling my 7-year-old kid back in the day, this is like 13 years ago now, almost 12, 13. I says, I'm going to make a movie and you and your sister are going to be in it. And they're like, first couple of years, they're like, yay, all right, Dad. And then now they're like, yeah, right, Dad.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we're going to get this done.
Oh yeah. And then also our nice topic. We had two topics because it's like it's kind of interesting to find out like when people achieve certain levels and stuff like that. And when I heard about this, because I sort of like you hear about famous people saying things, but you really don't really pay attention to it because you said that's another world. But for years, and let's see. Wait. Should I start it? Because I had. Oh, okay. This is good enough time because I put out an announcement if people wanted to join for this one. So many years I would hear Kanye West say, "I'm going to be the richest guy, richest entertainment. I'm not going to be just a hip hop artist. I'm going to diversify." And he said, "Oh yeah, okay, that's cool, But you don't realize like what realm these guys are in to make it happen. And I was reading that Forbes begrudgingly listed him as a billionaire. And I'm thinking like, what do you have to be in some kind of, the in crowd to be in the Forbes magazine for them to just to say that if you reach that billion mark, for them to put you in. And I think it's one of those cliquish things, like a lot of things in this world. It's a cliquish thing where, to be a part of the Forbes thing, you have to be in the right clique. And kind
the
of
thing about Forbes magazine. It is kind of a center to right leaning publication. And so that may be why, in a way, it's cliquish, somewhat like, say, let's say the New York Times is. So in a way, on the right or on the center right or on the left or center left, you have your two competing magazines. You've got, let's just say, the Wall Street Journal actually would be left, center, left, and then Forbes magazine would be right, center, right.
Yeah. So for years he's been wanting to get in there, and then so he finally arrived. He says he's worth like $4 billion. They say, well, maybe 3 billion and a quarter, right?
Right.
Like a billion is a billion is a billion. And I thought it was interesting that in the history of the United States, he's the richest black gentleman to be listed. I mean, what now? Could you imagine, like, in the history? And because I know there's been a lot of rich people, millionaires and stuff like that in America who have been minorities and whatever, black or whatever, but he's listed as the. Could you imagine, like, in a dictionary when they write down like the richest African American or richest black, his name would be in there, and so it'd be like, when are we going to have our first billionaire Native American, and or have we? When are we going to have our first billionaire Chinese American? If we already have one, because I think like Kanye West is just the type of person, he just says, he puts himself out there. He wants people to know that I am, and I guess you got to be kind of egocentric to be a billionaire, like Donald Trump. I mean, he's egocentric, and Ross Perot, he was egocentric. When and especially when he got on the scene of the politics and stuff like that. So it's like so I don't know. So it was just interesting to see how that listing came about. And I put it out there, like, is anybody out there wearing any of Jeezy's clothing? And I heard, like, some of it was kind of pink and kind of loud and stuff like that. Or I guess he has a deal with Nike. And I don't think I've ever asked my wife, like, tell me what's the second brand on the shoes, because he has a whole line of Jeezy. Is it Jeezy? Yeezy? I should have looked at the right spelling for that, his brand name. But do you know anybody who is out there buying his clothes? I mean, somebody has to buy him for him to become a billionaire.
I'd imagine, pardon me, Johnny. I'd imagine there's plenty of folks that go ahead and buy that stuff.
And I wonder if it's really high price.
I would imagine it's probably, if it's designer or has his label on it or his name, yeah, it's absolutely going to be somewhere over $100 for whatever.
Well, the shoes, I know, sneakers.
Yeah, shoes are about $2.
Yeah, the sneakers, yeah. I know those sneakers cost a lot. But like I said, the guy, Dr. Boyce Watkins, who I check out his channel, he was saying, like, the color's a little bit too bright for him.
Is it?
Yeah, like too much pink, too much this, and maybe a lot of females, or a lot of, like, maybe neutral gender people like his stuff, but somebody's liking it, because you don't get to be the, and then his accountant had to bring in the paperwork to show it on paper, and before the force would say, okay, you got us now. Hey, you're it. Hey, so
I would imagine being temporarily married to Kim Kardashian didn't
that might have
hurt his ratings either, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, the combined wealth, I mean, and then the TV show and all that kind of stuff. Now, have you ever thought? Because a lot of when I was listening to Dr. Boyce, he said he seemed. I guess when he first started, he said he's gonna, with his lyrics or with his rhymes and everything, he said just put it with some music and he's gonna become the greatest thing ever. You know, almost like Muhammad Ali. You know, saying I'm the prettiest, and people when they go to Muhammad, they would say this guy's crazy. He's calling himself pretty and stuff like that, and and so is it something into when you speak it, you can manifest it, right? Like when Jesus
that is definitely a spiritual law. You can speak things into existence through now people call it the quantum physics of the universe. You can speak things into existence, call things into existence that are not in existence as though they were in existence through the power of spiritual stuff through the Bible. So it is possible to manifest your dreams just by the power of the spoken word.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like, like when God says, like, you know, if you say to this mountain, throw yourself in the water, if you don't doubt it, it will happen. And I'm thinking like, did I fall short? You know what? You know, and I had this dream like 2 summers ago about being a millionaire or whatever, you know, and but no, forget about that one, because that one hasn't come to pass. But I had this dream one time, especially when I'm in Europe. I have the most interesting dreams when I'm in Europe. So I had this dream that I was going to meet this guy named Wayne in Littleton, but you know, and I don't know if you know, I have a best friend named Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne Turner.
Yeah, so I thought I was gonna, you know, somehow meet Wayne at one of the blind meetings in Littleton. But what ended up happening, we got back from Moscow and we went to this Taste of Colorado. And my wife says, "Hey, there's another blind couple in front of us." Right? And so I went up and introduced myself, and his name was Wayne. And then he happened to work at the school called the Center for the Blind School.
Colorado Center for the Blind?
Yeah. And I ended up doing a semester there teaching kids broadcasting. The young people.
Crow, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, this just came out of a dream.
Wow.
So the last dream I had was the past summer. No, I think was it 2 summers? Yeah, it was 2 summers ago. And I told my wife, okay, your son is going to be able to come to America. He's going to, you know, get his green card, whatever. And I said, and, you know, I had dreamed that I'm going to be like a millionaire. Now, if you counted up all the money that I've generated so far, maybe I have been, but, you know, that money's out the window. Or maybe this is going to be new money. But it's almost like, you know, I just seem to have these very vivid dreams. And then if I hold on to them and then just put a check mark there and then, you know, just go about my life, then, you know, then it's up to me to move into that realm where things can happen. I mean, like when I made the movie, I didn't know how to make a movie. I was just a vivid TV watcher. But I knew how to put, you know, a storyline together step by step, and then have a beginning, a middle, and an ending, right? And then I filled in all the rest, and so I made it happen, you know. And then I thought about I wanted to be in theater, so I did 5 years with a group called Family. So I just put my mind to it, and then when I put my TV show on Channel 12, I thought to myself, okay, I want this show to be on 12. And so it took me 3 months of negotiating with Channel 12, this guy named Kirby, before we got our show on Channel 12, which is statewide, which really opened up stuff, like the audience. So it's almost like, I could be stubborn with something and just stick with it. And so I realized that, let me tell you this one thing. One time I was calling somebody in I think it was the Philippines, maybe. And we were sort of like chatting, and I said, hey, I'm gonna go visit you and stuff like that. But I didn't realize at the time that, when you make phone calls to the Philippines, I think it's like $3 an hour. Oh no, $3 a minute. I'm sorry. And so I ended up getting this phone bill for $1,100.
Awesome.
I could have flown to the Philippines and back.
Absolutely.
And this is like, probably like, I don't know, what year was this? I don't know if it was early 2000 or late 90s. But anyway, so the phone company says, okay, either you pay the full amount or we have to shut your phone off. I can't live without the phone. I mean, this is Innervision,
Right.
And so I came up with $1,100. And it's weird how when you need the money, you can generate the money.
Well, and that's a very valid point. If you if there's something that you need to have, you will find a way to get it done.
Yeah. And my wife, she was telling me, she said, what if they took away your SSDI or all that stuff, this house? What would you do? And I said, I would figure it out.
Right.
I would move to a warmer state, and I would find a way of working to do something, dishwashing, whatever, to get myself into a place. But I would, I told her I'm a survivor. I would figure it out.
That's absolutely right. And the interesting piece to that, Johnny, is there's only 10% of those that are like that. Those are the Bill Gates. Those are the Warren Buffetts. Those are the trying to come up with a lady, Ann Wilson from Hart. Yay, there we go.
Yeah.
Those are the super successful individuals, but those are only about 10% of society. The other 90% will settle for mediocrity at best.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is they can go all their lives and work just a menial job or a job that has a modicum of success, and maybe they enjoy a good career and whatnot. But boy, as far as actually, I don't know, some of the bigger things, such as, playing Red Rocks, man. I remember playing Red Rocks back in the late 80s, and back before they tore down the Mammoth Event Center. I played that as well. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a band together and play Mick Nichols Arena before they tore that down. But boy,
yeah,
it's all about dreaming, and it's all about reaching for that dream, and it's all about making sure that you don't stop until that dream is accomplished.
Now, I have an artist, guy, KC. He says, this year is going to be my year. I'm going to make it happen. And so I'm trying to get him to, collect names, because he's out there all the time. He meets people all the time. And I said, if you could just take this piece of paper, and every time you meet an interested person, get them to write down the name, phone number, and email. Say, hey, I'm going to do a concert. I want to be able to contact you. And so I'm trying to get him into that mindset, because I started with him 10 years ago, and I was doing that for him. But I'm saying, you meet more people than I do, because he's just out there. He has a car, he can go this way and that way, and he just meets a lot of people. But I said, if you can get those people and then nurture that relationship, and I said, you will blow it up. I'll send you the flick. I don't know why I didn't send it to you before. I did send it to you, Rick Barker.
Yeah, I got that one.
he said something about when he was working with Taylor Swift. He was the manager until 2018. When he first met her in 2007, she said that she wants to sell 500,000 albums. He says, okay, let's get to meeting that many people. Now, could you imagine back in those days, you really had to get out there and do a lot of concerts. But now with social media, it's not as easy as it was, because now you got to pay to play to get ads out there. But you, with the social media, you have a chance to connect with that many people. You just have to figure your way around the social media. And so if you had a chance now to listen to his conference, we're going to try some of this stuff. What could it hurt,
Absolutely, Johnny.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And for this show, because when he was talking, he was saying, like, for musicians, but I'm thinking that if it works for musicians, it'll work for radio people, it can work for Zoom people, and let's just go for it, And I said, well, what I'm doing now is working. I'm doing half of the stuff. I just need to plug in the other stuff. So I don't know how I got off into that. But anyway, the next thing, Polis is really sticking the bull in the eye.
What's our esteemed governor up to these days?
Well, as you know, the poultry and cattlemen associated, the number 2 generator of money, and the first being tourism. And I'm not sure where marijuana comes in that realm. I know they raised, like, they did about $10 million worth of business, I think they said last year. But so the Cattlemen Association, number 2. And he seemed like Polis is just sort of like poking them to say, wait a minute, I want to maybe have electric cars be the first, or green energy to be first, or something other than that. And as I understand it, Polis is not a vegetarian himself, but his boyfriend is. And because they haven't got married yet, it's still, they call him the first gentleman, but it's still his boyfriend. So anyway, so on February 24th, he announced that March the 20th will be a meat out celebration. Right? Try to, and I have eaten those veggie processed hamburgers before at Burger King. Tastes pretty good,
Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah, and it's like, but even though I'm like probably like 99% of vegan, I'll do fish sometimes, whatever. I don't think I could convince you, unless you're ready to go that direction, that you should, give up the steaks or the pork chops.
Yeah, not in a million years, my brother.
And I said, well, you have to come, because nobody convinced me. I had to come to that conclusion myself, based on how I felt, so. And then, even every once in a while, like maybe once a year, maybe once every 3 years, I'll have a rib, barbecue rib or something like that. And I haven't had a steak in maybe 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So, or pork chops either, and so, but I could imagine if I was in a position, I could say, people, it's almost like in New York when they said, well, we don't want you to drink a big gulp. We want you to just drink a smaller sugar drink. And I'm thinking, people, they're going to do what they're going to do, and whether it's healthy or not healthy, you give them the information and then they make the decision for themselves.
Well, the interesting thing about meat is because of gas prices, because of the cancellation of the XL energy pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me, Johnny. That got me a little cold. Anyway, the meat industry is going to, in my mind, I would imagine it's going to tank. If oil prices hit back up to $100 a barrel like they were before Trump got into office, that's going to absolutely kill the meat industry because of the drive that needs to take place, from one area to another for grazing, because of the all the grain that's going to have to be transported. And I will tell you this: Bill Gates is investing into a bunch of farmland, or has invested into a bunch of farmland, making him one of the largest landowners in the United States. And he's got a racket where he is promoting what's called a Beyond the Meat product. These are things that look like steaks, might even smell a little bit like a steak. They bleed like a steak when you cut them, but they're filled full of beet juice, or but it's a totally vegetarian meat product. And so, interestingly enough, as we try to transition into a green era where there's less cow farts and and more electrical energy, gold, silver is going to skyrocket, because honestly, Johnny, we still need all those superconductive materials, and we do not have, in large quantities, superconductive materials which are not gold or silver. So, man, if one is invested in gold or invested in silver, especially invested in cryptocurrency, because that's going to skyrocket as well. And when you start combining that kind of thing with the foods, such as the Beyond Meat products, one can pretty much tell the consumer, hey, look, we don't care that you like fresh meat, real meat. It's $100 a steak now. It's $200 a steak now. So why not try this nutritious and wholesome veggie steak, this Beyond Meat product? It's around the price of regular meat. So I can guarantee you, well, I can't guarantee anything, but I can prognosticate that in the next 5 years, I would say, we're going to be transitioned over whether we like it or not.
That's wild. That's wild. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in that, because I mean, they're trying to make it as close to what we used to have, what is, so the transition would be less difficult. But they put so much salt in that stuff, and so much others. Well, I don't know what else they put in, but I know definitely salt is the main component.
Yeah, that's an interesting point that you make, Johnny, is that there has to be filler in these veggie products. So yes, we're talking about wood. We're talking about ground up wood in your food, sod, as it were, ground up plant material.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's edible.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's nothing different than that pink slime that inject the meat with to keep it from spoiling quickly. In fact, in prisons, this pink slime, they feed that stuff to the prisoners, no problem. Even though the bag on the bag, it says not fit for human consumption, they don't care.
Yeah. Oh, let me. I'm going to miss this stuff. There's a bunch of people that joined us, so I'm going to acknowledge them.
All right.
Jose Sylvan, Yokilla, Salakamukla. Oh man, these names, I'm butchering these names. Oh, Barbara Delina, that's easy. I can't pronounce that name. Matea Raj, Yol Staka, joined. Yetim joined. Barbara de Lima. Well, anyway,
Well,
it's a lot
greetings,
of it's a
folks,
lot of
and,
people.
real sorry about the mispronunciation of the names and things, but thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's an army of names. So, so I don't know if you guys out there leave a comment in here, and when what's this called Periscope goes, you can join us over on D Live. Let's see, Twitch. What else? Facebook. We have that's innervisionrecords.org or Innervision FM. Let's see what else. Oh, Rumble, we're in there, not live yet. So anyway, so when this goes away on the 31st, hope you guys will follow us over to the next one as well and sign up for that, because I know you guys get used to one or another. So anyway, and then eventually I guess I'll figure out how to like open up the Facebook page and read those people as well. So anyway, oh, and you can donate because it costs money to do all this stuff. So we appreciate a donation of any amount in our tip jar, like paypal.me/Innervision Denver. And you can also review and buy my book, 6 Shades of Blindness, and it helps with our nonprofit, and it helps to share a little love, money love with Alan as well, because he's taking out his time, and it's like I like to, I enjoy like the parts that he puts in there, but if we get any monetary, or when we get monetary compensation, I like to split that up as well. So PayPal, any amount that you want, from $1 to $5 to more, there it is. So anyway, so Bill Gates is working. He's working hard. He got time on his hands to develop this meat product. And like I said, there's a lot of people on the right this weekend here in Colorado that they're planning barbecues.
Absolutely right.
And I was probably gonna go see Casper Stockham, who's running for Republican chairperson, because I think he's gonna have one kind of close to where I'm at, because some of these get-togethers sound like they would be fun, but they're like out in Parker or Greeley or just places that it would take too much to go out that way. And it's going to be a beautiful weekend, 62 degrees this weekend. So, anyway, ladies, if you get a chance to make comments in the comments line, and I'll go back over there and read those, and then we'll share them with you on our next show. I'm up here looking at my phone as if they can look at it, as they can see me. Okay, let me look. Okay, let me get focused here. And we'll bring up some of those comments as I go back over them too in the YouTube, and please subscribe to YouTube, because we need about 89 more subscribers before we can monetize this. So anyway, you have any special plans for this beautiful weekend?
I'm just going to recover, and
oh, you really did get a cold.
Yeah, I really did, man.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just going to recover and try to take it easy a little bit, and just keep rocking and rolling.
All right. Well, yeah. Take that vitamin C or oranges or whatever, and get better. You got 3-day rest there.
That's absolutely right. Very important to take care of oneself, whether one eats a lot of meat or one eats vegetarian products. Vitamins are essential.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, anyway, so I will see you later on, and tell the audience good night and God bless.
Absolutely. Everybody have a great weekend, and talk to you Monday, Johnny.